So Brandon has had a vision in 2014 about the pre-trib and the tribulation. A lot of Christians now living just like the world. And Brandon says they will be left here. At the rapture, they will find themselves stuck here. If you're left here, you will be given an ultimatum. He said he saw a very specific family, a Christian family that was left behind. They had children during the tribulation. They had 2 of them, a boy and a girl. So these children were aged only, he said, around 3 to 4. I would say that would be about right, you know. Even if you go to the midpoint of the tribulation, you're only going to have a 4-year-old child. So there's a family, and they got this boy and girl. And the authorities came and gave them the ultimatum and said, we're going to give the children chips first. So they want to chip everybody. So it is a chip. The mark of the beast is confirmed to be a chip. But what does it do? I'm going to explain more. And they said, if you don't deny your Jesus, we're going to cut your children's heads off. Now, what are you going to do in that situation? The dad said, no, we're not taking the mark. We will die. And so the man from the authority had a huge sickle. Again, the sickle is another symbol of, all the other swords. Roman swords are straight. But the curved sword is Arabic, Islamic. They had a sickle, and they put it to the neck of the baby. He said, in this time during the tribulation, there is no mercy left on the earth. Nobody has mercy. Nobody has a conscience. And the dad said, no, you must not cut the baby's head off. And when he said that, they cut his head off. He said there was no time, no waiting at all. He said the head rolled down with the blood gushing out to his feet in this vision. He said he could smell the blood. At this point, the wife said, I'll take the mark. And the children are crying because they saw their father beheaded. The wife is bawling because she saw her husband had just died. And then the authorities give them the chip. And he said, here's the thing. Here's the new thing. The moment they take the chip, instantly they stop crying. They had no emotions left. The chip gave them peace. So there's more to this chip than just barcodes and buying and selling. There's something biological now about this chip. It made them cold, turn cold in their face, and they looked calm. And they didn't cry about him anymore. It's almost like they didn't care anymore. They didn't care about their father. They didn't care about their husband. He said he saw another man during the tribulation trying to commit suicide, and he had the mark. And the chip sent a signal to his brain and calmed him down, and he didn't end up killing himself. Somehow the chip almost knew what you're about to do. So here's something new. These things are all old. We've heard this before. We've read the Bible. We know this. But here's the new thing. I'm going to explain, because people have visions and they don't themselves always understand what they're seeing. What this tells me conclusively is that there's the white horse and the black horse are working together. The white horse represents medical tyranny. The black horse represents financial slavery. So the chip was always taught by everybody from, the well-renowned Chuck Missler to your latest prophecy favorite teacher, has always been taught that the chip is to control buying and selling. What I'm going to add to the explanation today, so that you are forewarned, is that the chip has something to do with the pharmaceutical industry. The chip is not just for financial slavery. It's financial slavery, medical tyranny, and spiritual blasphemy. It will also take away if you want to be saved, you can't be saved, the Bible says. You cannot take this chip and be saved. That tells me, I've always wondered, how could it just be a financial mark? That doesn't make sense. How can just not buying and selling, or if I took, a credit card, people thought at first it was a credit card, then people thought RFID chips. How could the act of engaging in the economy make me lose my salvation? And obviously it isn't. It is a medical thing. So the step 2 is, step 1, seed your financial freedom. Step 2, seed your biological medical freedom. Step 3 is you're going to seed your salvation. You're going to let go of any opportunity to ever be saved for eternity. the chip covers all three. So it has to produce a zombie-like effect. So it produced lack of emotion, lack of any sexual attraction. So all of this was controlled by the chip. So this chip is much more than just financial, but it has to be combined. The white horse has to work together with the black horse and work together with the Antichrist. The chip seems to know what you're about to do. He saw people mowing their lawns, but their bodies were there, but he says it's like they're not there. They were like robots. They were like zombies. And the chip did something to their brains, to their willpower. Jesus then took Brandon to a place with gray barricades. Okay, so you've seen these gray barricades all over the place. Any highway, you've seen those. So that's what they were. He saw one lady with a bruise or a burn. He said some people's bodies had a physical reaction to the chip. So some people had burn sores on their heads and on their hands. Not everybody's body can accept this chip. So this one lady, she was trying to recreate the burn sore with makeup. And she was standing in line and she was basically faking it. She's trying to show that she has the chip and she's got this reaction to it. The people were desperate for food. They were trying to get into these towns for resources inside there. And basically they saw that she was faking it. So as soon as she got to the line, they just cut her head off. He said there was no delay, no wait, no explanation, no mercy. They just cut her head off. He said her head rolled down the line and nobody had any reaction. People had absolutely no emotion about a woman's head being cut off. He said the chip was very small. It didn't need a battery, which is now a hint of what we know is something they work on, which is called nanotechnology. So it's a nanotech chip.